there, all beautiful learners. Welcome all to our today's session. Once again, I hope so you are getting well and fine. As like as the previous time, we are connecting with the chapter 4 of science, and we already discussed in very last class about the flower of drawing and identifying its parts, and with some information about flower. Today we will go through understanding about the parts of the flower, very important parts, and their lots of features. It is given in your book. As like as we will not going through, we will ensure it the easy learning and easiest way to make a chart. So everyone follow this one. 3, 4 part is mentioning this, so 5 box we will ensuring this one. 5 box like that. This one, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. First one will be the features. Second one is the sepals. Then petals. Then stamen, and then carpels. Okay, so this is the easiest way of learning science. If we ensure this one for making the comparison list, for having the section wise, for getting the feature like study, we can easily can gettable in this way. But my dear student, I have a question for getting that part. That is, we got the 5 important parts, or 5 parts that is very important for having a complete flower. Without 5 parts we cannot see a complete flower. But what is the, why we have written the 4? Why it is written the 4? Of course I will tell you, this 4 with receptacle was the 5 important parts of a complete flower. If any of the parts is short from there, like sepal, petal, stamen, carpels, or receptacle, that means we cannot say this one is a complete flower. Complete flower have of course the 5 distinct part, but why we have written the 4? Receptacle is not counted as roll. In Bengali it is say stobok, like that, for connecting and conducting. That is the important part, but not counted as the roll. Many of the students did mistake in previous time. If it is asking for how many roll of a complete flower, everyone says, oh, Monisa taught us, or like that, 5. No, 5 important parts, but 4 roll of a complete flower, and these are the 4 rolls, not counted as the receptacle, so that we will try to understand in this way. And receptacle also can, you have mentioned with that part, and we will get her to see on the specific case. So my dear students, I have seen that many of you are joining there. Very good to see, and your presence. Adrito, okay, Anurul Karim, Sharin Bahar, Ahnaf Rajin Bahar, okay, Ayman Al Tahamid, Abdullah Amor, yes, Jubair Ibn Haq. Then we have seen the Samir Hussain, Shahrul Karim, then Aisha Siddiqa, then Juhana, then Iftikhar Mahmood. So all of you are very good morning, and you are welcome to the class. Already we have getting some idea in which way we will go through understanding. So now very first one, roll. This is the first roll, second roll, third roll, fourth roll, and in the public exam it is also asking for which one is the third roll of a flower, stamen, which one is the second roll of a flower, petals. So don't have panic about getting this type of problem, okay? Just keep it in mind, 5 important parts for a complete flower, but 4 roll of a complete flower with receptacle. Receptacle is not counted as the roll. Yes, first one we can see this one. Yes, then we can see definition. Okay, sepals, the very outer part of covering flower. Outer part covering flower is the sepals. We can know this one. Yes, then the colorful parts, of flower. Then we can say the male reproductive part of flower, female reproductive part of a flower. That means normally what is the definition, what is we known for this one, we will try to understand about that one. That means what we actually going on through. I have seen the many of you also joining and left also many of you, why I don't know. Very outer part covering flower, that means we know what we have seen on there. That means any flowering parts we have seen the very outer parts and covering that one on that times, that is the sepals. And colorful parts, we have seen the many colorful parts that we have drawn in very last class, and you are getting used to about that one. What we actually try to understand, I just not having of drawing, I just try to make you mind that these are the colorful parts, these are the petals, colorful parts. Okay, then stamen, male reproductive part, these are called the main reproductive part. And stem, we have seen the in the filament and anther with having the male reproductive parts. Female reproductive parts is actually these all, stigma, style and ovary, all of them. So these are the commonly understanding definition of all the parts. Now we will go to the another features. Yes, then number third, collectively known as. Yes, we will try to understand about that one. Collectively known as, what is it actually known as? We can say the calyx, collectively known as calyx. Then we can see here the corolla, then collectively known as the androecium, and collectively known as gynoecium. So this is the another important part of knowing that one. Collectively known as the sepals. When the sepals, we have seen the collectively known as, that times it is known as the calyx. Then petals are collectively known as the corolla, and stamen are collectively known as the androecium, and carpels are collectively known as the gynoecium. So this is another important points for knowing that one. Importantly, we will try to go through understanding this one. Okay. Composing parts. It is not for sepals, not for petals, and in case of the stamen, we will try to understand about here for the filament and anther, filament and anther, and then carpels we have seen here like stigma, style, ovary. So composing parts, what are the composing parts? Can you see here? The sepals, petals, stamen and carpels. What we have seen there, sepals have no composing parts. That means we cannot, yes, you can see it and get it in upgrade level or in your upgrade class, but in case of sepals, in case of petals, not having that one. But in case of the stamen, we have seen the filament and anther like that. Suppose this one, and we can see this one. This one, anther, filament, stigma, style and ovary. So this one is importantly we can get it back for finding the different parts of getting that parts. So filament, anther, stigma, style and ovary are the commonly common parts of the carpel. So if it is the composing parts, there is not composing parts of getting this one. But in case of the stamen and carpel, that is importantly we can section this one, and with the filament and anther, stigma, style and ovary. So without having that connection, how can we minimize? This is another feature we can include it if it is needed for writing about the stamen, about the carpels. So next one, I just erase this one for writing something. Special features. Special features. Then functions. Special features and then functions are commonly used there or utilized there. Which one we can remember on that specific parts? So dear students, can you get it that point properly? What are the important features we are getting? Well, special features and functions. I write the another 2 points. I will orally make you understand, but that will be your SW for doing this one and with having that specific parts. What we have seen here, you can look at here that the first sepals, petals, stamens, carpels, first roll, second roll, third roll and fourth roll. Definition, what we try to understand from there, the outer part of the covering flower, the colorful parts of the flower and male reproductive parts we have seen, and also we have seen there the female reproductive parts, collectively known as calyx. I told you, I make you understand. This third one is very important of you, and it is very importantly you can go through understanding, and not only that one, this is important for MCQ question and SQ types of question. Okay, so collectively known as calyx, collectively known as, in case of the petals it is corolla, collectively known as the androecium, collectively known as gynoecium. So this is very important to know and remember and having the note: calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Composing parts, seen calyx or sepals have not that parts of getting specifically have not composing many of the parts. Petals have not composing any of the parts. Stamen have that I make you understand the filament and anther, and stigma, style and ovary are the composing three parts of that one. So these are the very commonly known to be understood. Okay, so special features, how can what can you try to write about the special features? Yes, actually special features, many of them you can write. The sepals actually is there the green parts having the chlorophyll and can also have participation in the photosynthesis, petals are very attractive part, making the colorful and attraction to the insect. Stamen, of course, there is also having that they produce the pollen grain for doing the pollination. Carpels have that one to carry out the pollen in the stigma, like that. Functions are commonly you can do. Sepals, since it is covering, okay, so protect the inner parts or inner organelles or inner things. Petals, since it is the attractive parts, it also have the pollination, okay, and for pollination is actually because of attraction of the insect with the flower. And stamen, if it is the stamen, we this is the male reproductive parts, so they are conducting and connection with the fertilization, and carpels are also conduction and fertilization of the conduction and take part in the fertilization. So these two features to complete and total chart you will submit in the comment box. Hope so you will getting understand this one, and not only this part, you will try to understand about that specific one for getting importantly to know about this one. And you also try to practice about the importance of the flower, so that it will be also asking for what are the importance of that flower or of that part in the stem. Okay, you can practice out also this one. And not only this part, you also having connection with that study as well. And we are not missing any single of the topics from the books. We everything understood. So I hope so that if you are a student of loving science subject, you can understand everything, who are connecting with me in very first time of the year and now and then, because we don't have any lesson of going through of any of the shortfall of any study. We understood everything. So that's all about today, my dear students. Do the SW and submit there. Hope so you will be getting fine as the previous time. Stay safe, stay at home, stay strong. Allah Hafiz.